you're out there, you're riding, you're having a good time, and taking in the outdoors.
The fight isn't over. The fight is just beginning.
Carry Dome Lookout was an extremely high tower with a lot of stairs. I would rate this lookout at probably a 2 out of 10. Not real scenic up there unless you go way up to the top, which we didn't. Rice Peak Lookout is an awesome view with great single track surrounding it. I would probably rate this lookout at a 9 out of 10. It is abandoned, it's no longer in use, but I think it's a historical site and it's something that I have really wanted to restore, maybe take some paint and some screws up there and kind of help this building stay put, because it is one of those places that is really worth visiting. Danskin Lookout is one that took me 3 tries to get to. I'd probably rate it a 5 out of 10. It has a nice view, it's a cool building, and it's very easy to get to, but it did take me a few tries simply because I was trying to take single track or trails of some sort to it, and the only route that really makes sense is the road. This is Council Mountain Lookout, and I would say this one is hard to rate, but I would say probably 10 out of 10 simply because of the view all the way up and past this lookout. I mean, there's trails all over the place. It's beautiful up there. The colors were awe-inspiring the entire time. Unfortunately, this lookout did burn down. No Business Lookout. This one, I didn't have the drone, so I don't have any drone footage, but the view from this lookout is very awe-inspiring, and actually the video doesn't do it justice. So I would say I would give this one an 8 out of 10 for scenery. It was beautiful. Pinion Peak Lookout. This is one that I visited later in the year and one of the higher elevation lookouts. It is way up there and it does provide amazing views. Most of my view was blocked by the clouds, so when I was up there I didn't get the full spectrum of scenery, but I would still rate it an 8 out of 10 based on what I saw. It is a very scenic area, and the road leading up there is pretty cool as well. Sturgill Peak Lookout. This is one that looks straight out of a storybook. I would say I would rate it a 7 out of 10. There's really not a whole lot going on as far as trail systems around there. It's very easy to get to, but the scenery and the colors were just awe-inspiring. Very beautiful area, and like I said, it looks straight out of a storybook. Trinity Mountain Lookout was one of the higher elevation ones that we went to, and it really didn't make sense how it was built on this stack of rocks way up on this mountain overlooking a bunch of lakes. Very scenic. I would rate this a 10 out of 10 based on scenery, and if you're going to do a dual sport ride, very worth it. It's a beautiful area with a very rewarding view. However, there's not a whole lot of single track around this area. There is single track, but not right around the lookout, so definitely worth the trip. Squaw Butte Lookout, I would give this one a 2 out of 10 probably. Very easy to get to, and the view is, it's okay. It wasn't the best out of the ones I visited. Scott Mountain Lookout is another lookout that just looks straight out of a storybook. It can't get any more scenic than this. It was absolutely beautiful. The single track surrounding this was amazing. I would rate it a 10 out of 10 for sure. This is one of my favorite lookouts of all time. And part of that's probably due to the fact that we went kind of early in the year when everything was extremely green, and There's a lot of contrast, but man, it was beautiful up there and a really fun ride. Hershey Peak Lookout. It's hard for me to rate some of these because they're such a great adventure and I really liked each one of them. But I'm going to have to give this one a 9 out of 10. It's really hard not to give it a 10 out of 10, but this had a really great view, but not as good of a view as some of the other lookouts. However, the single track leading up here is second to none. The single track in this area is absolutely great, and there's no shortage of it at all. There's a lot of lake overlooks and a lot of single track that just follows the ridges, and you get great views all the way. Pilot Peak, I would have to give a 5 out of 10, just based on scenery and the single track leading up to it. I don't believe there's too much single track in the area, and I think there is actually quite a bit of road. Indian Mountain Lookout is another one that is really scenic and really fairly easy to get to, and there is single track in the area. I would rate it a 6 out of 10. Pollock Lookout is not accessible through single track. I got as far as I could and I flew the drone up the rest of the way. For that reason, I would give it a 3 out of 10 because I was not able to access it without hiking, and with motorcycle boots I just simply wasn't prepared. But it was still a scenic area, and regardless if I had hiked up to it or not, it wasn't quite as scenic as other lookouts that I've been to. Jackson Peak Lookout, I would give this one a 3 out of 10. It was probably the nicest lookout I've ever visited as far as the building structure, but as far as the view goes, there wasn't much to it. South Mountain Lookout was a beautiful view, and this shot does not do it justice at all. The colors that we were seeing up there were so vibrant because the sun was setting, creating this rim of beautiful color around us. It was just an amazing shot, and I did capture that with my camera, but the drone footage just doesn't show how colorful it really is. So this ride was extremely cold but extremely rewarding. I would say I'd give it an 8 out of 10. A great dual sport ride, but no single track in the area. And Thorn Creek Lookout, I would give this a 4 out of 10. It's located up in Idaho City. There's plenty of single track located around this, and it's very simple to get to. The scenery is not that great. Sure, you get the mountain views and everything, but generally it's fairly dry up there. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.